Before the break, I promised to explain how coffee has ruined tea. I want to be very clear here. I am not saying that you can't get a good cup of tea in Britain anymore. You can, it's just that it's becoming harder to do so, especially in some places. And I include train stations in that list. Evidence for the prosecution, Exhibit A. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not a cup of tea. That is, at best, a potential cup of tea. And they were trying to charge nearly £3 for that. £3 and they can't even be bothered to finish the job. That's like asking for some chips and being given a potato. And let's be clear, that isn't even all the ingredients for a cup of tea. More to the point, what ingredients are there are not being assembled in the correct order. Allow me to demonstrate with a scientific experiment that I conducted under laboratory conditions in my own kitchen. That there, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 glasses. In glass 1, there is boiling water. Above glass 1, there is a tea bag. In glass 2, there is a tea bag. Above glass 2, there is boiling water. Let's see what happens when we combine the same ingredients, but in 2 different orders. As you can see, ladies and gentlemen, in one of these glasses we have made tea, and in the other we have made not tea. Or, as we scientists call it, piss. But this is only the first of my objections to this cup of potential tea. I would now like to move on to the topic of temperature. Tea and coffee are different drinks. They should be treated differently. For coffee, the water should be between 90 and 95 degrees. Whereas for tea, the water should be heated to between 96 and 100 degrees. And there is a reason for that, as close to boiling as possible for tea. This isn't me being a fusspot, this is actual science. Boiling water brings out the bitter, unpleasant flavours of coffee. Boiling water is needed to bring out the desirable flavours of tea. Now, it is because the water in that cup hasn't boiled, because they haven't boiled it. A borrower could have a bath in that cup. And because it hasn't been boiled, and because they haven't put the tea bag in first, I'm going to have to mash that tea bag to within an inch of its blessed life in order to squeeze any semblance of flavour from it. The ideal implement for that would be a teaspoon. Unfortunately, they haven't given me a teaspoon. They've given me that. What use is that? That, as far as I can tell, is only useful for lighting a high school Bunsen burner. Is that the point? Have I missed something? Am I meant to seek out a Bunsen burner in the train station and boil the water myself? In another contraption and then pour it into the cup and then add the tea bag? How has tea been brought to this parlous state? I'll tell you how. It is because of machines like this. This is a beautiful machine. It is exactly what you need to make an excellent cup of coffee. But something like this will cost you in the region of £2,500. Whereas what you need to make a good cup of tea is one of these. And you can get one of those for in the region of £6. You need to train someone to operate one of those. If you need to train someone to operate one of those, they shouldn't have left the house. Now let me show you how one has interacted on the other. I'll do that using my cost versus quality analysis of hot brown drinks over time graph. Obviously brackets, not including hot chocolate. If we map the price on the horizontal axis, ladies and gentlemen, and the quality of the brown drink on the vertical axis. Now, 20-odd years ago, when I was a young man, it was pretty much impossible to get a bad cup of tea. It was always of a high quality, and it was always relatively cheap, 30, 40, 50p for a cup of tea. Coffee, however, it was similarly priced, 30, 40, 50p, but it was pretty abysmal. It was instant, it was burned, we didn't know what we were doing. Britain was a very naive place coffee-wise. It needed to be improved, and good on them, they improved it, but at a cost. They took it up to a high-price, high-quality item. And if things had stayed there, that would be fine, because what you've got there is one high-quality, low-price item and one high-quality, high-price item. But they weren't happy with that. They thought, we can't put tea and coffee on the same menu, serving one of them for 50p and one of them for £3. But because they've used one of these to make the coffee, they've got to justify the cost of that. So they've dragged the price of tea up towards the price of coffee. And even then, if things stayed there, at least they'd both be acceptable things. But no, Because they're using one of those to make it, and it doesn't boil the water because it's perfect for making coffee, they've taken tea down to here, a low-quality, high-priced drink. We have traded off, ladies and gentlemen, a situation where we used to have a high quality at a low price and a low quality at a low price, two acceptable situations, for one situation now where we have an acceptably expensive drink and a completely unacceptable drink in the bottom right-hand corner. What kind of trade-off is that? That is like sending your thick son to an expensive boarding school but making your intelligent daughter work as a prostitute to pay for it. That is a ridiculous thing to have done.